So, signaling. Let's say you want a two-headed train. So, okay, first, headedness. You can either go in one direction or in both. So, if you want to signal rail in one direction, you put signals on one side. If you want to signal in two directions, you put them on two sides exactly opposite each other, like this. Else it won't work. So, this won't work whatsoever. This will work in two directions. This will only let the trains go from right to left, and this will only let them go from left to right. Okay, good. I'm gonna test all of this later, after saying what everything does. Okay, so now this intersection of two-way tracks. First, we want this intersection in the middle to be one block so they don't collide. So we place signals like this, isolate it. Okay, good. Now it's one block, as you can see. So, but since all of those signals are regular bell signals, let's say this train goes in and stops at this signal because it can. Now it's blocking everything for everyone, which is bad. So to fix this, I'm gonna place chain signals. Chain signals copy whatever is in front of them, so as you can see, this signal is red. This chain is red because it's copying the next one over. Same as this. What this does is, if there is a train coming from here and it can't leave, it won't enter. So, if you want the train to, if the train should be able to stop after this signal, make it a regular one. If you don't want it to pass this signal unless it can leave immediately, then make it a chain. Now let's look at something more complex. This two intersections next to each other. All tracks are two-way. First, again, we place regular signals to isolate everything into its own blocks, like this. But now, again, we do the same things. So trains should, damn it. So trains shouldn't stop inside it, so we place down chain signals. Importantly, only on the entrances, because it should be able to exit the intersection and stop. So not here, but here. Oh, I say, for example, this chain signal I placed it wrong by accident because it's on the exit. Well, they only should be on the entries, like this. But now this pair of intersections is one block, which is not quite good enough, because let's say this train is moving through the intersection. Imagine it's going through right now, and this train will have to stop, wait until this one leaves, and then continue, which it shouldn't do because it wouldn't collide with it. So there is no point in waiting for it to leave. So what we do is we place more chain signals in the middle. Again, they should be chains, because if they are regular ones, the train will enter, and then it can stop inside the intersection and ruin everyone's day. So we place two chain signals like this. That way they separate the blocks and don't make trains stop where they shouldn't stop, because this chain signal copies this chain signal, which copies this signal. So everything works. Now, for something even more complex, this is two pairs of two single-way tracks. So we're here using right-hand drive. So trains should be able to come from here but not backwards, and they should be able to go like this, but not backwards. And same with the other pair of racks. So how do we do this? Again, place all the signals first. Now notice that I'm only placing them on one side of the rails because the tracks are one way. So if I don't want trains to go backwards, I only place one signal on one side. Now, again, same thing with chain signals. Don't want it to enter and get stuck. So here, 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 and here. Again, 4 chain signals on the entrances. Now this giant chunk in the middle is one big block, and just like in that situation right here, trains that don't have to stop for each other will stop and wait. So I will add more chain signals. Right here, 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 and here. As you can see, once again, they split everything into blocks without interfering with trains stopping and leaving. Now, onto something a little more complex. This is a T-junction. It's used, as you can see, to branch out a track from another track. It is often used in rail grid style megabases along with the four-way junction up here. Now I'm going to signal this and comment on what I'm doing. So, and this is going to use left-hand drive because I personally use left-hand drive in my bases, and so I just placed the junctions I designed earlier and removed all the signals, so I'm not sure if the right-hand drive ones even fit. So, left-hand drive. First, we want to place the regular signals everywhere they should go and then replace them with chains, if we need to, so it's easier to follow. So first I place rail signals in these two spots, because that way I'm splitting the entrance and the exits. So here's the entrance and here's the exit, and I'm splitting them into 2 different blocks. Same here. Now you can see they are blinking 3 colors. That's because they can't really split up this block because it's a ring. It's a loop, so they don't know what to do. So I'm going to place more signals. Like this, this. Sorry for that pause. And that one, because of course I managed to unpause at the most inopportune moment. So the final signal goes right here. And what I did was just split this into blocks. So I just marked out the places where 2 trains shouldn't be at the same time. Okay, now on to placing down the chains. The common rule for this thing, for intersections, is chains on entry, regulars on exits, and chains everywhere else inside. Now, so basically, another way to look at this is, if a train passes a signal and stops at the next one, will it ruin everyone's day? If the answer is no, then we leave it as a regular rail signal. If the answer is yes, we replace it with a chain. So for example, this one. If the train passes it, it will stop in this block in the middle and block pretty much trains going this way and trains going this way, which is not good. So we replace it. So we put a chain here. And same with this signal. Same with this signal, and the rest can stay as regulars, because if a train stops after this one, nothing bad will happen, because it will only block trains coming from here, which it would block anyway, because that's just how this works. So this is the simplest junction of all, like the T junction. Now, onto the big one, the four-way. I'm gonna signal this one without commenting, and hopefully you can try to figure out what I actually do. So now you can see the bunch in the middle is blinking because, again, they don't know what to do. They are trying to split rings and failing. Now everything is fine, no problems. Once again, if any of those are removed, the signals in the middle break and everything joins into one giant block, which is not good. It's like there can't be more than one train in one block, but this block is way too large, and for example, trains coming from here will interfere with trains coming the opposite way when they shouldn't. So all these signals are necessary, because if the blocks are split if there are less of them, then the blocks will be split badly, so the trains will mess with each other when they shouldn't. And now I place down chains, and again, I don't comment on what I do, and you try to understand. Also, I forgot to place down signals here, because this train is going in way too deep, so trains coming from this way will block trains way over here, which is also not what's supposed to happen. So I forgot to place a couple signals there. Which, I mean, everyone makes mistakes, we're all human. So I keep on placing the chains. There. Every single signal inside this intersection is now a chain, so a train won't get stuck inside if something isn't letting it to get out. And every signal that doesn't need to be a chain is a regular signal, because trains can stop after those, and nothing will be a problem because they've already exited the intersection and won't block anyone else. So this is it. I'm gonna recap real quick. This allows only to go from right to left. This allows only to go from left to right. This allows to go both ways. This doesn't work whatsoever. Like, for example, let me stay. Let's say, as you can see, it can't pass to this stop. You see? If I remove this signal, it still can't pass to this stop, because this signal isn't allowing it, but you can see that it turned red. If I remove this signal, everything works. It goes back and forth. if I place down this signal, it will go one way, but not the other, because again, it's blocking stuff. If I have two signals here, again, it starts going. There. Same with this. What's this? I add this, I add this, and for this one I add this, and this, and as you can see, it can't path. Why? Because I'm telling it to go to this station, which is on the wrong side of the track, and it can't go to it. So I'll tell it to go to this one instead, and now everything works. It goes back and forth. If I now tell this one to start going, again I chose the wrong station because of course I did. You can see that they will not let each other enter the intersection. Now in general, having double-sided, so having two-way track is in generally not a good idea, especially if you have more than one train on it. Because if two trains on a two-sided track go opposite ways and meet, they will both get stuck and block everything. So I personally don't only advise having one-way track for one train. So only one train per track if it's two-way. Okay, let's stop this. Now again, this also same stuff as before. Same stuff as before. Tell it to go. Tell this one to go. As you can see, they're both. All of them are going back and forth. This one can't leave because these two trains keep blocking it. So if I tell this one to like wait for 5 seconds, it now goes. Then these start going. It waits for them both. And you can also notice that these two trains, when going back and forth, don't block each other because these two chain signals start. Now I stop all of them. Not going to test this one because you can imagine that it's gonna look exactly the same as this. It's just gonna be two trains going into loops and stopping for each other. So just to save time, I'm not going to show this one working because I hope you can imagine what it does. And these two, I can't be asked to just add stations to those. So yeah, you have to trust me that they work because I tested them and they work. So yeah, this concludes this is the signal tutorial ended. Hope everything is clear. So yeah, thanks for listening to me being cringy for like 5 minutes or 10. Goodbye.